Hello everyone, this is Justin Haney, and this is my EDL 856 Module 10 case study. Section 1, we're going to talk about the case summary, the situation. We have a newly formed parents organization that wants to be equal partners and become more involved in decision and policy making. The president of the parents organization is a young male attorney. There's myself, and then the parents organization. The newly parents formed our organization broke away from the national PTA. The parents had a meeting, formed committees on discipline, teacher performance, curriculum, and total school performance without my knowledge. And the parents want a change in the back to school night to a series of nights that kind of break probably teacher contract and go over negotiated hours. When and where, the location is not given and the grade level is not given, whether it's elementary or secondary, but we're going to go over, I think I have a pretty good guess of what it is kind of based on some of the details. Section 2, legal and ethical issues. Student confidentiality could be broken if parent organization is involved in a lot of decision making, discipline, and other things. NEA agreed upon teacher contract time that I hit on, and then teacher evaluations are all agreed upon through NEA contracts. There's board policies we're going to have to look at involving school performance, discipline, and school district parent involvement. That's the overall district policy on parent involvement. And then state policy we're going to have to look at involving school curriculum and parent organizations. The Secondary and Elementary Act, Section 111.18, going over parental involvement. If requested, parents have opportunities for regular meetings to formulate suggestions and participate as appropriate in decisions relating to the education of their children and respond to any such suggestions as soon as practically possible. That's through the Kansas Department of Education, and what they're really hitting on is that the parents' organizations are involved in this and give their input, but the overall decision making is still held upon the school. So that's kind of the big disagreement we're looking at, where the parents are involved in the decision making, or if we're just getting their input towards the decision. Synthesis issue: the parent organization is wanting partnership in policy and decision for making discipline, teacher performance, curriculum, and total school improvement. This definitely oversteps the guidelines that we just talked about in the Elementary and Secondary Ed Act of parental involvement. Section 4, we're going to look at the facts. All the people involved are the parents, the organization president, myself, the principal. This is going to affect teachers, the school board, and possibly even the superintendent. Place, unknown, size, level, state is all unknown, so I'm just going to kind of incorporate my own school and building into a lot of the decisions that I'm making. Program, obviously the parent organization. I had to guess, I think the information would be middle or intermediate level, just based on some of the curriculum things that were talked about in the information. Again, the unknowns are location, level, size, and state. Section 5, we're going to review and prioritize. Stakeholders at risk: the parents not having their opinions heard or be active in their child's education. The school district not following state guidelines for parent involvement, and poor public relations could happen. Myself, I could lose credibility from teachers, and I could be reprimanded from the superintendent. Teachers, they could have unjust performance review. They also could look poorly upon myself as a principal of just not having very good backbone and kind of being overran by the parents' organizations. So to-dos I put down: assess the state parental involvement guidelines, which we already looked at those through the KSDE. Review the district and building parental involvement policy, which I have 489s, and we'll talk about that here in a second. and we're going to meet with parent organization president to address the current situation and help build our relationship. Section 6, we're going to talk about the options that we have. Option number 1 is take no action. Ignore the organization's request for more involvement. Option 2 is meet the organization's request, comply to issue the issues of policies and statement, data collection, discipline, teacher performance, curriculum, and school evaluation. Option 3 is going to be find a middle ground. We're going to meet with the president and go over the district, state, and school policies and then explore options for greater involvement for the parent organization. Option 4, we're going to address the concerns at a board meeting. During the next school board meeting, bring up the parent organization's actions and plans for school improvement. Option 1 is the no action, where we're going to ignore the parents' involvement for more involvement, Pros, I don't have to adjust any current procedures, policies, or norms. Cons, the parent organization relationship is definitely going to be hurt. That's something that we can't have. It could become a bigger issue that could go towards the school board, superintendent. It would definitely shine a bad light upon our district, our school, and myself. We definitely don't want any bad PR. And then not meeting the state requirements for parent involvement because we just kind of be shutting them out. Put a big no down there because this is definitely not going to be an option for us. Option number 2 is meet the organization's request and give them the control they are seeking. Pros, the parent organization will be meeting the state requirements of involvement, maybe even over meeting them. The parents will be more involved in their children's education. Cons, it'll break student confidentiality and a district policy. Loss in trust from teachers, superintendent, and school board. And we could lose poor educational decisions could be made as they are not in the building every day and they don't have a background in education. Option number 3 is going to be find a middle ground, meet with the president, cover requirements, and find a compromise. Some pros here. We'd still be meeting the state district requirements. Relationships are going to be built. Parental involvement will increase. Beneficial towards school improvement and student achievement. And increased public relations. Some cons: the parent organization could resist if approached incorrectly. Section number 4, or section number 7, still option number 4. Address concerns at the school board meeting. Some pros would bring light upon the organizations to attempt to overstep. Some cons could open a big can of worms. We could get a lot of negative feedback, just how the situation is being handled, just kind of throwing everybody under the bus. Seen as a lack of problem-solving ability on my end, and then relationships are definitely going to be hurt if that's kind of just brought out into the public light. We're going to go with choice number 3, find a middle ground. Reasoning: for all stakeholders, I feel this is the best option. Parent organization is a vital part of your school system, and they are there to support your building by reaching out to families, offering suggestions and concerns for the school improvement, collaborating with the community, and providing additional support for classrooms. By working with parent organizations to help find a way to meet some of these requests will help cultivate this relationship for the betterment of school and its students. Excuse me for 1 second. Section number 9, implementing my decision. We're going to meet with the organization's president. We're going to cover the requirements of state and district. We're going to reach out to families, offering suggestions, concerns for school improvement, collaborating with the community, providing additional support for classrooms. In 489, the Parental Advisory Council Coalition informally organizes and assists each building in parental organizations. We're going to cover what power can be shared, which includes school improvement plans, state testing results, Title I funds, and curriculum. We're going to cover what can't be shared. Share decisions on discipline, teacher evaluation, teacher contract days, state and district board policies have to be followed. sharing of confidential student information, and splitting organizations into specific committees to form policies we can't have. Emphasize their importance. Discuss how important that their involvement is, and the dedication that we're going to make this a collaborative partnership with them in the school. But those lines have to be drawn on what can be done and what can't be done from the parent organization. Some other things to consider, if we're looking at my own district and my own school, our 489 policy for parental involvement says each school has an organized parental group. In some schools, it is the home school association, and others a parent-teacher association or parental advisory council. All students have site councils, which are comprised of staff members, parents, and community members. These groups, which provide guidance, volunteer assistance, financial aid, and student-teacher support, are vital to the success of our schools. These parent organizations, also informally organized through a parental advisory council coalition, help with coordinate parental activities and provide programs throughout the district. What decisions can parents make for their child education? So individually, parents have the right for special education IEPs, 504 plans that must be agreed upon. Parents always have the right to be involved in their child's education. Many subjects like sex education, it's important to have a signed contract for consent on these things. Number 3, what can I do as a leader to promote parental engagement? Some things I just thought about are sending out weekly updates to cover things that are going on in school, upcoming home and school meetings, school events, shout outs of good things that are happening in our school, teachers that are doing great things, successes and achievements of our students, teachers, and our school. Number 4, how can we reach out to new families, especially those whose primary language is not English? This is where I really would push for the parental organization to fall and help us out. Having a parental team that is a welcoming kind of organization to help new families coming into the district, especially finding somebody on the team that is bilingual that could help out and speak the home language of those parents coming in. That just definitely builds that culture and kind of helps them feel warmed and welcomed as they come into our community. Number 5, what benefits can come from a great PTO partnership? Increased community funding from local businesses, more connections to families and communities for all needs and services. These services and funds can help programs and classrooms for needs, materials, tools, and technology for increasing student achievement. Here are my references that I used from the state of Kansas and from 489, and there's some other runs on there. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck the rest of the semester. Appreciate it.